The LG G7 ThinQ should be renamed the No ThankQ. Find out why right now. Hi guys, this is Zilla. I'm back again with another quick video, and today's hot topic is the LG G7 ThinQ. First off, I hate that name, so I'm just going to call it the G7. ThinQ sounds stupid, but that's whatever. Now, little disclaimer before I go any further. I do not have a G7. I haven't had any hands-on time with the G7. I haven't used it. So this is everything I say here is based on what I've read, what I've seen on the internet, etc. So it is open to speculation, but from what I'm seeing, it's the same thing being said over and over again. So I'm pretty sure what I've read and heard is pretty accurate. Now, this is not going to be a rant video. This is just purely my thoughts about the G7, and I'd like to get your thoughts as well down below in the comments. Keep them clean though, guys. But spoiler alert, I think the G7 is going to be a flop. It depends a lot on the price. Price rumors are varying massively. I'm hearing $600 or £650, all the way up to $900, £900. So I don't know. And a lot of the sales figures are going to depend on the price the G7 gets launched at. So what's my issue with the G7? Okay, first issue is battery size. 3000 milliamp hour batteries in a flagship is unacceptable. How can you justify such a small battery? Now, I know it's got the Snapdragon 845. I know it's going to be more optimized with Android Oreo and so on, but it doesn't matter how good of a software engineer you are or LG has, they're not going to be able to get that much out of a 3000 milliamp hour battery, especially since it's not stock Android. Okay? You can argue till the cows come home, but you can't get blood out of a stone. And if I don't understand why they went with the decision to go with such a small battery. Now, some of you are going to say, well, that's not LG's flagship phone, their V series is flagship. I disagree. Now, I'll tell you why I disagree. The G series phones come out to compete against Samsung's S series phones, and now the S series phones are flagships as far as I'm concerned. So is the G series. The V series comes out to compete against Samsung's Note series. So again, flagship level devices. How they can justify a 3000 milliamp hour battery is beyond me. So that's my first gripe. I'm looking down here, there's a list of bullet points. Second point, single speaker. I mean, really LG, come on. Single speaker. Now, I know I've heard all this rubbish about it's got some boombox type feature built in that makes the sound louder, but doesn't make the sound better quality. It doesn't make it stereophonic. It doesn't improve the sound. Really, I mean, you're touting the headphone jack as audio quality with its quad back, which is great. You kept the 3.5mm headphone jack, and it is a great output from that jack. But then why skip and go with a single speaker? It doesn't make sense, especially in 2018 when all your rivals, Huawei, Samsung, Apple, list got HTC, they all have, sorry if you can hear traffic, they all have dual speakers. Okay, Razer phones got dual speakers, Xiaomi's phones have got dual speakers. Why are you coming to the party with a single speaker? I don't care, it's all marketing hype, some chamber thing that makes it boomy in sound. Nonsense. That to me is unforgivable. Right there for me is a deal breaker. It just is. Let's move on now to the notch. Now, I don't mind notches. Those of you who've been watching my P20 Pro videos, and you'll know I'm not that upset about notches, as long as they have a use and a function. A notch is a compromise, it's not a feature, and this is what LG seems to be missing. Now to me, by adding a notch, they've made themselves into a Me Too, a G7 into a Me Too device. Reason I'm saying this is, how can I put it to you? In the iPhone 10 they had a notch, but that has a Face ID camera in it, it's got sensors, and it's got a secondary speaker in the notch, so there's a use for the notch. The P20 Pro, same thing, it's got Face Unlock, an extra speaker in there, so there's a use for the notch. The G7 doesn't have a secondary speaker, it just has a normal selfie camera and the earpiece. Why the hell did they put a notch on the device? For what reason? If you notice what all the big YouTubers are doing, they're not mentioning the fact that there's no Face Unlock on the G7. Now in 2018, how can you not have a Face Unlock on your phone? How? I've got right here the Honor 7A. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I will do shortly. £140 phone, and that has Face Unlock. £140 phone with Face Unlock, and the G7, from everything I've seen, doesn't have Face Unlock. So the notch, to me, why is it there? Again, it's becoming a Me Too pro. They put the notch in to copy everyone else, but they haven't thought it through. They haven't done anything with that notch. Am I wrong? Let me know down below. The screen. Now they seem to have gone backwards with the screen. Okay, the V30 had an OLED panel. Wasn't the best OLED panel, but it was okay, acceptable. Nowhere near Samsung's levels of screen, but as I said, acceptable. But now they've gone back to using an LCD IPS panel in the G7. Why? Is LG not capable of making a good enough quality OLED display that they have to go backwards? Now the screen is 2K. It is very bright. It goes up to 1000 nits, and it is a 6.1 inch screen. You know, lovely, whatever. But why have you gone with an LCD display again? Why? Especially with the tiny 3000 milliamp hour battery, it's going to eat the battery life, especially when you boost that brightness like crazy. Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't do it. Really, are you not capable of making a great OLED display? I mean, look at the Pixel 2 XL. LG's OLED panel is pretty much garbage, let's be honest. It was, you can sugarcoat it all you want, Pixel owners, I don't care. That screen was garbage. Simple, end of. So that to me, again, it's for a flagship in 2018, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. Now they've done a Me Too again. They've copied Samsung. They've put an extra button under the volume rockers to launch the assistant. But they haven't gone with Bixby. They haven't gone with their own assistant. They've gone with Google Assistant. Wow. What was the point? What is the point of putting the extra button there when it's just Google Assistant? You can just press and hold the home button, on screen button, whatever to launch it. You didn't need the extra button. And the fact you can't remap it is another issue in my eyes. And it's kind of like pointless. Absolutely pointless. And while we're talking about the Google Assistant, another thing that's irritated me, which a lot of YouTubers are not talking about, a lot of people are happy they're using Google Assistant, but then when you swipe left from the left on the home screen, instead of getting the Google cards coming up, you get LG's cards coming up. Why the hell did LG do that for? Inconsistent. They should have just left it with Google's feed there instead of LG's garbage feed. It's mind-boggling how LG makes weird decisions. No wonder their phone division has been making a loss since 2015. A loss since 2015. I'm astounded that they don't seem to be listening to people. They don't seem to be listening to the consumers. And so it just annoys me. And okay, they've also included AI in the camera. I don't know how good that is, but again, because everyone else is doing it, they chuck it in as well. I don't know. Is it good? I haven't tested, so I can't comment on that. 4 gigabytes and 64 gigabytes of storage. Is that really acceptable? Now, in the Android world, the Pixels can get away with 4 gigabytes of RAM because they're stock Android. But I've said this for a long time. If you've got a skin on top of the Android operating system, you should be using at least 6 gigabytes of RAM because there's more drain, more work needed by the device to run itself. And again, it boils down to price. If it's something, they're charging $800 to $900 or pounds, that's not acceptable. There is going to be a 6 gig, 128 gig version, but I bet you, looking back at history, it's only going to be for the Asian market or in the Korean market and so on, until they may release it in the US 6 months down the line, 4 months down the line. That irritates the hell out of me. So you can see I'm frustrated. I just don't see why they're cutting these major corners. These are things that are expected in a flagship, but they're giving us kind of specs that we're getting in phones that are considered mid-range. That's the irony of this. There's too many things and features missing, in my opinion. I think people are too focused on this boombox thing built in, which I think is a gimmick. I mean, let's talk about cameras now. The cameras. Now, the same BS you get from a lot of big YouTubers every year when LG launches a new flagship. The one thing they always say is, oh, this isn't final software. The cameras are not on their final software. We don't, so they're covering their own backside, basically. They know the cameras are not that great, so they put that little thing in to cover it. So you're telling me LG's given them a phone that's not ready, and it never has been for the last few years. It's always an unfinished software experience, but the retail version is going to be a lot better. Garbage, rubbish. Again, guarantee the cameras will not be as good as you think they're going to be. I never are. And before you say anything, I've got a G30 here, a V30. I had the V20. I had the G6. I've had the G5. So I know what I'm talking about. And the cameras are never as good as the YouTube world has you believe. So I don't know, man. It's the same rubbish every time. Why, LG, do you not have a finished product for people to test? Why is there always this, it's not finalized? You're so close to launch, I don't believe it's not finalized. You're just using that as a bloody excuse to justify rubbish. And I know I'm sounding harsh, but it's the truth. If you don't believe me, look back at all these videos about other LG devices and you see the same crap every time. Every time. On a positive note, it does look very nice. The build quality looks nice, but there's a lot of people out there hesitant because of this boot loop that's happened in LG phones in the past that LG refused to admit to, and a lot of hardware issues and software issues. At this point, I'm going to say this. Oh, before I go, I was talking about the design. Google this for yourself, but look at the back of the Huawei Mate 9. Looks very similar to the back of the LG G7. I know one's glass, one's metal, but the design looks very, very similar. Very similar. Now, I think it's going to come down to price, and I think they're going to overprice it. From the rumors I'm hearing, I think it's going to be too expensive for what it is. The phone doesn't seem to have any unique selling points. Yes, the only two things is probably the headphone jack, but then Xiaomi phones have great headphone jacks now. The Exynos Samsung phones have great headphone jacks now. So that's, to me, is not really that unique anymore. They're starting to you can't keep flogging the same horse all the time, because eventually you're going to kill the horse. And the wide angle lens at the back. But again, they've reduced it from 125 degree angle to 107 degrees or 105 degrees, whatever. So they shrunk it. But what else is unique about the G7 that we haven't already seen? Nothing. I mean, let's be honest. What is unique about it? There's nothing other than those things, and they're not that unique. It's a very, as I keep saying, a Me Too phone. I don't think it's going to be worth the money unless it's 500 or below. I'm guarantee you will not sell in big numbers. Let me ask you, all of you out there now, if you've got an iPhone 10, or you've got a Huawei P20 Pro, or you've got the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, would you give up any of the, or a Pixel 2 XL? Let's even go there. Would you give up any of those for a LG G7? I seriously doubt you would, any of you. If you would, let me know in the comments why you would. I'm interested to know. I really am. But for me, it's going to be another heartbreak situation for LG. I think the phone is going to fall flat on its face. I reckon in a month or two, you're going to see them slash the price in half like they do with every phone they've released for the last few years. Or they're going to start trying to entice you by kitting out your entire house. You know what I'm talking about in the States. They'll chuck in a free widescreen TV to bribe you. They'll chuck in a refrigerator or washing machine or whatever to try and bribe you, which is ridiculous that they have to do that. No wonder that mobile division makes a constant loss. To me, that's nuts. No unique selling point, nothing new. In fact, it's missing a lot of key basics that a flagship device should have, in my honest opinion. So, LG G7, no thank you. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button down there, smash it. Hit the bell notification icon too, because you'll get notified of all the videos I make as I upload them. And share this video on all your social media. Now, before I go, I've got the Honor 10 that's sitting over there. Because of an embargo, I am not allowed to show you anything or talk about it. I'm just telling you I've got the actual device. So videos will be coming out pretty soon about that when I'm allowed. I've got the Honor 7A. That's an £140 device. Interesting. I'm going to be reviewing that soon. I've also got the Xiaomi Black Shark gaming phone coming in. I've got the brand new 10-inch tablet, Pro tablet from Huawei coming in as well. Obviously, I've been doing videos about the Huawei P20 Pro, so check those out as well. I'll leave links. But what do you guys think as well? Just let me know in the comments below. Keep them polite, but honestly, Apple's not going to lose any sleep. Samsung's not going to lose any sleep. Huawei's not going to lose any sleep. I think this is another phone that's going to be overlooked from LG. I think it's another one to chalk down in history as pointless. I know I sound harsh, but I'm just being honest with my opinion. Anyway, take care. I'll see you all again real soon, and peace.